Markets sent clear signals this week about volatility, risk, and discipline. We break down what the last 5 trading days actually mean, how traders should reset going into the new year, and which tools help keep decisions simple and controlled. Stay with us to see what matters and what to ignore. We're wrapping up the past 5 days of our 12 days of trading email campaign that we've been doing. It's been getting a lot of love from everyone of just, cool, actionable content, some stuff that is tasty trade focused. So we've been sending out all the demo links and stuff like that within the email. So it's been a great, we've covered a wide range of topics from strategies and market concepts to account types like IRAs and cash accounts. We've talked about some of the features in the platform, like the capital requirement feature. We've done a whole lot with this series, so it's been a fun little exercise. Hopefully, we'll do more of these into the future, not just for holiday events. But here's a quick little recap of kind of what we've gone over in that email series. Let's get into it here. So the topics this week, we talked about volatility. We had a New Year portfolio reset. So we talked about kind of, resetting the portfolio. We had a whole discussion on that. We did some of the trading tools. So you had the capital requirement feature that we showed yesterday, which was a great feature. Tex and Quentin had the demo that they did that is also on the Tasty Trade YouTube channel. So that is up now. They've been uploading those. I will actually post that into our Tasty Live chat room here. I'll give that to Frankie to post. Hold on, I will do it.
Look at you doing customer support, doing the slides.
But it's a great feature. It's something that, a lot of customers use, a lot of people use for risk analysis. It's a tool that our risk team uses to look at your positions if you have something going on or if you need help with something. It's a great way to kind of analyze your position, see where your risk is, see how much risk you have on. A great feature. So give that to Frankie. He'll post that in the YouTube chat. We talked about risk management. We did all sorts of workflows throughout the week. So we're going to get into it here. So let's get to the next slide here. So we talked about like kind of just macro catalysts here. So we talked about.
There you go, son. They just.
We got a 4 or 5 point move down and got filled on that SPX.
Yeah, and they're crushing volatility. It seems like at this moment right now, even the S&P's up 44. Really hasn't moved that much. It got filled at 460. It collapsed 30 cents in really about 2 or 3 minutes that you were just on the show.
Yeah, it was just that down move that really gave it to us.
Yep.
So talked about rates, inflation, all that stuff has been kind of a catalyst, and just volatility itself. So volatility tends to cluster. You got to keep in mind that it's not always going to be this low. You do have those spikes. We talked about the VIX term structure. So we wrote about kind of contango and backwardation. Contango is what you are typically in, which is considered like the calm. It's where back month volatility is actually higher than front month volatility. When you get into backwardation, that's when kind of stuff starts to get crazy. That's when front volatility is higher than back month volatility, where the fear today is more than what is feared in the future. You typically have more fear into the future because there's more uncertainty, more time, and whatnot. And so we gave you a quick little discussion on that. Getting to the next slide here. So we talked about like the IV and volatility and just volatility across the curve. So, we talked about checking IV rank. You want to see above 50. That's typically like the higher end of the vol range. Of course, you can't sit around and do nothing all the time, but it does change the strategy when volatility gets low. We've been doing a lot of, cover calls or at the money debit spreads or diagonal spreads, calendar spreads. Those are kind of the lower vol regime trading strategies. So we walked through a lot of that and kind of talked through that through this email series. Getting on to the next slide here. So we talked about portfolio reset. We had a bunch of questions about tax loss harvesting and, do you kind of take things off the table to get a fresh start? Some of the things that you can do is, close out of underperforming positions. This tax loss harvesting is more applicable to stock positions, but, just in general, taking off positions that haven't worked, you start fresh in January with a new P&L set. So, that's part of kind of the story here. January does tend to be kind of a high volume month. Everybody is doing the same sort of thing, resetting, starting new longer duration trades. So just keep that in mind. You do tend to see a lot of liquidity come into the market in that January month.
That is true. That is true for sure.
So next slide here. Sorry, we're not done with that one. Take my slides away.
Come back.
So we get to the fifth slide here. We'll go to the next one. So we talked about a bunch of tools that you can use and that will help you better understand your portfolio, your risk, trading in general. So we talked about the order chains. So we've done this in life cycle of trade. I use it all the time on the show here just to track your orders. It helps you understand where your position is from a net perspective. So all your positions that you roll and manage and adjust, it kind of buckets them all into one chain, so you can kind of see where you're at. We also talked about bracket orders. So using bracket orders to define risk. We use the GTC order for that SPX trade that we just got filled on. It's a great feature if you want to kind of set it and forget it. We don't use it personally on all of our trades, but it's great to have for those short-term trades. If it helps you sleep at night, I think it's also a great tool as well. We talked about watch lists, so they help you, see where we use the high option volume list, the S&P 500 list. These are kind of like where you can start seeing what is moving, get some trade ideas. You can sort all these things by a variety of metrics, from IV rank to percentage change to implied volatility to, earnings dates. Like, you can put all that kind of customizable, and that was all kind of outlined in this campaign. So getting over to the next slide here. We did just general risk management stuff. So we talked about capital requirement feature that's in the platform. Frankie will post that video if it's not already posted, but that is also on the Tasty Trade YouTube channel, not Tasty Live. It's on Tasty Trade. We got to keep those things separate. The Chinese wall that separates the beautiful thing that we have going here. But you can check that out. That's a more in-depth analysis of the capital requirement feature. We also did it during the show yesterday live from the trade desk. If you want to check that one out, just a great tool, and you should definitely be looking at that from time to time. Next slide here. E-mini is only up 37 now, sold off a little bit.
Only 37, yeah. Volatility in by 60 cents.
Yes. So we talked about the risk management capital requirement feature is awesome. You should check out that video if you haven't already. It's a great video. Let's get to the last slide here. We talked about just a general workflow of mechanics of trading. This was outlined in the emails, looking for liquidity. This is stuff that we talk about every single day. This is all, right? So you start by finding something that's liquid. You want to, we look for high implied volatility. That's, one of the metrics that kind of gets us to the underlying. The next thing is the sizing, the directional assumption, the non-directional assumption. That's kind of the next part of it. You get to the mechanics, you want to understand gamma and volatility and margin requirements and how you are exposed to all those things. And then, the next thing is the risk. Are you doing this naked, defined risk? Are you being directional, non-directional? Those are kind of the next steps. And then, managing that trade, having an exit plan. We look for 25 to 50% of the max profit. If something moves quickly, maybe you take the money and run, holding that risk if you're okay with it, all those things kind of go into it as well. So we kind of gave you a little bit of a quick workflow there of how you can kind of look at your positions and your portfolio as a whole.